Can you hear me now? I'll have to do the whole introduction over again. I'm happy you're still here, though. If somebody could just let me know if you can hear me now, that would be good. I had it muted there to figure out what to do. So I'm just waiting for somebody to tell me that they can actually hear me now, and I'll do the whole introduction again, or I will just YOLO it and hope that the audio is on now. So, little pause music. Audio, yes, thank you, Koda 24, which is our the newspaper for developers in Norway. So, thank you. Then I'll start again. Welcome to the stream. As I said in the comment, if you would let me know where you are, coming from, that or listening to this, watching this, I guess that would be a lot of fun for me. So today we are working on POW's timeline. It's the main view of POW, and I would say the only view. It's actually the only view so far. So it's I really want to get it perfect before moving, not perfect, but good enough before I move on to making more views. I'll show you all of this later. So for people new to this, POW is my menstrual first site. My menstrual first. POW is my privacy first menstrual cycle journal. It's a mouthful, I know, but that's the tagline for now. So what does that mean? Well, I made an app where I cannot sell my users' data or share it because it's all encrypted. And for that, I use Userbase, a backend as a service that I'm very happy with. And I do recommend you use if you want to test out making a privacy-first application. I don't know if you heard that, but my 5-year-old is home from kindergarten today. So there might be some sounds from that. Yeah, so privacy first menstrual cycle journal is what I'm making. And today we're looking at the main view, which is supposed to give you kind of an indication of where you are in your cycle, what is happening right now, and when can you expect your next menstruation to come. And I haven't really been happy with what I had. So today we're going to look at some experimentations I've done and that I think I'm happy with, and then try to finish that up and clean it up. And if I'm feeling really courageous, we'll try to do infinite scrolling. It's something I have a super hang up. I don't know why. I think it is from when I made iOS apps way back when, and getting the lists to scroll if there was different heights was a big deal. So I just have a hang up on this. So if you have any resources on React infinite scroll for lists with different heights, then I would love to see those. And I can't just keep on adding items. I need to get them out of the view as well. Otherwise, it's going to be sluggish. So yes, if you can send me in the direction of any kind of resources like that, I would be, forever grateful. So let's look at what we're making. I shared a tweet. Oh, I'm going to just close down my so we don't get that, inside kind of video. And then I will add, let's see, there. You can see my screen. So I shared this on Twitter. I hope you can, let's see. I want me to be small and that to be big. Okay. So this is how it looks today. So on top there, it's kind of like a summary of the day you're at, and those little chips, as they're called in MaterialUI, little tags, are what you have logged on this day before. So on day 7 in your cycle before, you logged these things. And then it also says that the next one is coming September 10th, which, this is an old screenshot. So this is how it says old, but this is how it is now. And every time I use the app, I want to scroll back. I want to scroll back and add something for yesterday or the day before, because sometimes I often forget to log, a day back or something like that. And I also want the users to kind of know that they can scroll back, so that they get a little nudge to log for yesterday if they haven't done that. So what I came up with was this kind of design where You see it's a little more streamlined, a little more boring, I guess. But for this design, you could scroll back and forth. And also, I'm showing it today with that kind of raised add note button. And then you can see the predictions for the days coming. So this is where we're at with design. I still feel in this older design, I also have that logo up there and the red bar up here, which is gone from the new design. And I've seen, so let's look at how it looks now. It looks a little boring without the logo and the little red bar. So I think I need to add that back. But then I also think I need to kind of pop this a little bit. It is now, so I call this the info box. This is the info box. This is the entry box. And then this is the predictions box. And then this is the header we're going to be working with in code. So I want to make this pop a little bit more. And I did some trials. I've put this box in here. I've done all kinds of things, but I think this is what I'm happy with. This design, but making this pop a little bit more. If you have any comments, please chime in. I do not get offended or sad or anything if you, don't manage to formulate your comments very, correctly or nice. That's fine. I really just want feedback on this. So I have user tested the old design. Let's go back to the old design. And one of the users said, she's one of our power users, she said that you could go up here and you could look at days past. But when she did that, it was really hard to see if it was a past day or if it was a past date, a future date, or current date, because the design was the same every time you chose a new date. So that's what I tried to fix a little bit with this design, is that you can clearly see that these are future dates because you can't add any notes. In the old design, you can actually add future notes. But I don't know if anybody has realized they can do that, but they could. And then if we go back to the design as it is now, if you scroll back, you see that these are not raised and they don't have this little note. So hopefully that will make it more clear that this is today, this is the future, and this is the past. I'm just going to drink some water. And I think we're going to be going till 12:30. An hour was good enough or long enough for me last time. So yes, this is the past, as I said, this is today, and this is the future. Another comment we got in user testing is, why is this called the timeline? Oh, the logo is gone. I don't know why. Why is this called the timeline? Well, and is this the same thing as like the main screen? And the reason why I've added this timeline kind of option here, but I haven't highlighted it because I've been lazy, is because my plan is that there will be a calendar view where you see your days more as a like typical calendar with the days and the months. But to do that in any like interesting way, I need to put a color or do something with these tags so that I can show them in kind of in a smaller format in a calendar view. And hopefully I also want to have kind of more of a dashboard where you might see your cycle as a circle, which is something Clue does and many people like. Me personally, I'm an engineer. I like it in a list. So that's why I started with a list, or a timeline view, as I call it. Well, then we're going to head into the code. And I don't know if this has stopped or if nobody is asking any questions, but please chime in, because that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, to get a couple of more eyes on what I'm doing and also get me energized. Last time I ended up coding the whole weekend because I got so energized from doing these streams. So let's jump into the code. And no wonder the logo was gone, because it's not building right now. So let's do, developer. That does not work. Develop. So this is a Gatsby project in the bottom. or in the bottom. I don't know if you say that in English. The foundation, I guess, for POW as a Gatsby app. And the reason is because I knew Gatsby. I'd used it for several projects, and moving forward, I also want to make, you know, if you reload this, I want there to be, what's it called? One of those kind of skeleton screens on here, so it feels like it's loading faster. But I haven't really taken advantage of that yet. Lots of stuff you need to do. So let's make this little thing pop, and maybe take down the font a little bit. So I'm using MaterialUI. I'll just show you that. And I'm really happy with MaterialUI so far. This is an error I started getting when I updated Gatsby, but it seems to go away if I just try and develop a couple of times. Yep. If that error comes up, it won't reload, which is kind of boring when you're coding, you know. Do you remember in the olden days where there was nothing like this? We had to, like, you know, refresh every time you wanted to see something. And oh, we have come a long way. I've been coding on and off for 20 years, so there has been a lot of changes. Another thing that I would find interesting is if you would, you know, tell me what kind of work you're doing. What are your passion, or not passion, you don't have to be passionate, what's your main project these days? Oh, it's still saying that. Well, let's just roll with it. Last stream, nothing wanted to format. This time it might not want to update, but let's just roll with it. You're welcome. Water is an important thing. Okay, so I think our logo is back now. Yeah. And if you see the logo on here, it's a lot, it's a lot more boxy. I was just playing around in Illustrator, and suddenly I stretched the logo without meaning to, and I liked it so much better. So now the logo is kind of more stretched and more fun. One day I'll pay a designer, but right now it's only me doing the design. Okay, I'm sorry I talk so much. Let's code. So I want to make this little info thing pop a little bit. And what I've tried here is that I've pulled out all these little boxes into their own components, but I try not to keep so much of like special styling in there. I have added the special styling up here so that I can have all kind of my extra styling in one place. So this is the info. It has a, but what we want to do in the info is that we want to do body 2. So in MaterialUI, you have this typography component, and you can set different variants on it and different components, and also color, I think. But sometimes I do that just with my own styling. So let's see if it's, it's now smaller, which I like a lot better. And then we'll head back to our main component, and let's do the background. So my primary color is red for this project, but I also feel like that kind of indicates menstruation. So I don't want to use that as a background because, you know, it might not be the day you're menstruating. So here it says next period is coming on November 19th. So I think I'm going to use our secondary color, which is purple. And then I can access all my colors from the theme, the theming that's part of MaterialUI. So I want the secondary, and then I think I want the main. So there's 3 colors for each color. It's the main, light, and dark. And then for the color, I want the contrasting text. And I think there is a contrast text. Yes. What did we do before autocomplete? I'm in awe of my older self coding, and I'm definitely in awe of the old guard coding. So I think that looks maybe a little too light in the color. So let's try dark. Is that too dark? What do you think? Do you think I should do main? Just like this, or dark? Or let's try light. I don't think that's going to be in high enough contrast, though. No, it's not high enough. So main or dark? What do you say? I'm going to leave it on main for now. And then I see that we need a little bit more padding if this is going to look good. So let's up that to 1 and that to 1.5. Yep. I kind of like that it's popping a little bit more. Is it popping too much? This is the problem with UI. I can sit and play and play and play, but we need to ship something also. So if anybody, have any input, let me know. I think I want to do the dark, and then I think I want even more spacing. No, it's so gloomy. Let's do main. So this is also a nifty feature with, I think I learned nifty from Wes Boss videos. This is a nifty feature where you do spacing and then you say what you want on the top and bottom and then on the side in one go. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. And then I think I want to round the corners a little bit. And there's a theme setting for that as well, but I think I'm going to just do half of it for this little one and not. Yep. I think that looks kind of good, or good enough. I think it's going to look good enough. I don't know if the comments are coming very late or not. The last one I have here is thank you for reminding me of water. Let's see. You're welcome. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that, actually. I'm happy you can scroll back. I'm happy we can scroll forward. This is just super boring. So I have to figure out something to do with this. In today's design, if there's nothing, there's just a little dot and you get these like dot, 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 dots. And I think I might want to do something like that. I removed the background on the future dates because I thought that would make it stand out more towards the past. But they feel a little lonely. So I think I'm going to go back to this design where they have the little gray background. So do you people like working with UI or mostly coding more of the business logic type of code? I really enjoy all of it, but I spend a lot more time going back and forth when it comes to the UI. And I saw a friend, she said she started designing again in Figma, and that works so much better for her. So I think I might have to look at that because I still kind of design by coding, and it can take a lot of time going back and forth between different designs. But I think there also is a steep learning curve to learning Figma or another design software to do some simple designing. But let's commit this. Pop the info. And then I think I want a little gray to be back at these. And I think I did that in here somewhere. prediction. So is future background color transparent? So no. And this is a very interesting thing. MaterialUI uses JSS and CSS and JSS, JSS, I think it's called. Anyway, I can add classes here and then reference them like this if I want both of them. And then I need to add them. So I have a conditional class name down here where I add them if it is the future. And I was going to do that for all of these, but I didn't need it, so I haven't done that yet. So let's remove that. Yep, that looks so much better. So let's do that. Background, back. To future predictions. Okay. And then I don't know if we should start working on these. They should just be little dots again. But then I would have to figure out on a high level if there is, or on, I would have to figure out on this wrapper component if it has content or not. Because what I do here is that I just add the header info, entry, and prediction, and then each of these components themselves figure out what they need from Redux. So I still use Redux Toolkit. I just really like Redux, so I just kept on using it. I'm comfortable with it. So I need to have some kind of helper. I need helper info I can get in here to see if there's no predictions. Then if it is the future and there are no predictions, I want to just remove it or have a little dot. So I think we'll do that next. Thank you, Ali, for chiming in. I like all of it. Can't decide now. Neither can I. That's the problem. So let's go with what I chose now. And he's also talking about Tailwind. Yeah, it looks really promising. It was very new when I started making web apps. So I started with MaterialUI, and I've stuck with it because I'm proficient with it. And I've learned over the years the most important thing, if you're not doing a project to learn, but to actually get it out there, you need to select the tools and services and things and technologies that you already know. Otherwise, it's too much to learn. And I've done that too many times. So with this project, I'm trying to stick to things that I know from, or technologies I know from before. So that's a little tip there from Benedicta, who's been coding side projects for 10 years now. Okay, let's see if we could get, where was I? Yes, let's see if we can make those future one little dots. And then I think for infinite scroll, I'm going to do some research before I start doing it. Otherwise, it's going to be a very boring stream. And let's implement infinite scrolling back and forth on next Friday. So keep you on your toes. Okay, let's see. So I need something here that lets me know if, so what did I say? If it's in the future, and there are no predictions, then return. Let's close this up, or return something different. So let's go to our prediction and see how we're looking at predictions. Select prediction tags for a date. I think maybe I have something, a selector that will let me know if there are predictions. So let's go to, I think that is in, let's see where I have, it's in cycle. I should probably call it prediction so I remember it. Let's see. No, sorry. messing with you. Select predicted tags for date. Yes, should not be in the cycle slice. Here it is. I just didn't see it. So let's make an extra helper so I don't have to check for 0 all the time. So now I'm going to make a selector, looking at the iPad and not at you guys. So I'm going to make a selector that uses this select predicted tags for date and gets the tags, but then only returns true and false if there are any tags. So I don't have to do that in my component, because I think I'm going to need this somewhere else later. So I'm just going to do it here. Select as predictions for date. And then we're going to do, did I lose my mouse? Oh, well, the mouse, external mouse is not working. Let's use this one. So that will give me the tags, and then I'll just return tags, and then let's see what we have. Always something that has to stop working. Does not. Now none of my mouses are working. Okay, let's go. So this is kind of annoying. With the external mouse, I need to have the natural scroll off, but for my internal mouse, I have to have it on. So let's do select has predictions for date, and then we want to use that here. Then we first need to get the, as we do here, we need to get the use selector. As predictions. I think that should do it. Let's see. Good old console log. And we have some truths and we have some false, so that seems fairly good. So what did I say? If is future and does not have as predictions, return no predictions. And as I talked about in the last stream, I am quite dyslexic, so I've just gotten really used to copy pasting things before there was a very good autocomplete, so I still do that. And here we are, no predictions, so that's looking good. So let's make that an article like we have here. Sorry, I'm jumping back and forth. Need some more water or some coffee. So how am I doing as radio, Ali? Am I doing good? or Muhammad Ali? Do you go by the first or both? So I know. Let's use the same root. I think that will give us some margins. And then I think we kind of just, what do we want here? Do we just want a little dot? Do we want to say what day it is? Maybe just dots on the right side, I think. Or maybe just the day. Let's do a little avatar. Or how does it look if I just do this? Let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, so the dot is over there. Let's do an M dot. This is something I've started using a lot. M dot. M dot, you know. I've started using, yeah, it's still small though. I had a design with smaller dots that I had going down the side, and I really liked that. How did I make that happen? I guess it is in the today's code, so let's just have a look. So I've been working on this for so long that I've started forgetting things, which always reminds you that you should be good at documenting things. Let's see, has content. Yeah, we did a little avatar and then we made it small. And then I put the day in there. So now I should probably put the date in there and not the cycle day. So how small is small? Team spacing. Okay, let's do that. Let's go for a date. And then I don't know if it got imported. So you're liking the new, oh, hello, No Hinder. Are you liking the new design? Because you are, you know, are one of my power users. Let's see. And then let's make it small like we did with the other one. I cannot code. Avatar. Now let's add that here. I can guess that I've written height wrong because I do that all the freaking time. Always. I forgot to remove that comment. So yeah, feel free to chime in, as I've said. Yes, this is how I wanted it. So I want these little dots, but I want them a little bit over, and let's skip something in between there. Let's do margin left to get them to move in a little bit. And let's see how that looks. That is more, am I liking this? Am I? I don't know if I am. Only 2 people watching now, so, but if you guys or girls want to chime in on how I should display the days, future dates that don't have any predictions yet, please chime in. And if you're watching this in recorded, then leave a comment, because I'm very interested in hearing what you might have to say. I think actually that looks good. I think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And then maybe add the date in there. So do I have format? I need date FNS. Yes, I have it. Format. And then let's do date. Am I losing the flow? Let's see. We had such a good start here with the popping of the info thing. Use DD instead of DD. Okay. Yeah, let's get that. Yes. So that looks kind of the way I wanted it. And then we'll have to have a look at these. The avatar, yes. And then that's 01. Let's do typography, and let's see if that will make it the right size. I should move this into its own component so I don't have to keep on scrolling back and forth and back and or up and down here. But I'm not going to do that now because that's going to be boring to look at. So we want the font size to be 1M, I think. Does that work? Let's see what the, oh, this is setting the font size as well. So if we want this to be, now it seems to be working a little bit. Yep. And then we want this to be another color. Text. Text primary, I think. And we don't want this. We want there to be one. So I'll have to go back up here to fix what I fixed in the browser. Sometimes I forget, you know, I sit designing in the browser and then I go back to my code and I do something and then it updates in the browser and everything is gone. I'm like, why? I did this, but I didn't do it in the code. I only did it in the browser. So we're going to make them a little bit bigger so we can actually see the date. And then we want the font size to be 0. Ooh, let's try 1 rem. And then I want whatever is below it to have font size 1M. Just inherit whatever the font size is. Yep. I think there's one person watching now. Is that somebody's been watching the whole stream? That's pretty nifty. Nifty. I curse West Boss for that word. Okay. Looking kind of okay. Oh. I need to have an and because this is not true CSS. There we go. Let's look at date FNS to see how we can get dates that are only one number. Day of the month. Oh, so it's only one D. Hello. Yes. Let's do text secondary. I don't know if I am very happy with this, though. Maybe it's better to just have all the dates going down like we had before. Let's get git stash. Yeah, maybe that does look better. New people on the stream, we are working on the main timeline for POW, the Privacy First Menstrual Cycle journal that I'm making. And I'm trying to make these future timeline items look good even when there are no data to be displayed. So I have this version where it's basically, I'm just removing the content. So I could probably take away some margin here. But then I also tried git stash apply, where they are little dots. Yeah, maybe they're not too bad, the little dots. Because you will always get the date when you get to the next cycle because your tag will be there. So this will always show up. So maybe I should have them over here and then do the day of the cycle, or should I have them over here and do the day of the month? Or should I just work on this more? Any input would be very much appreciated. Or should they not be there at all? See if we can do that. I need to apply it again then. And we're soon closing up, so we'll see. I mean, it looks better, but it's really, I guess it's going to be hard for people to know that we're skipping days. Since we've stopped with like the circle or the sign, maybe it should just be a little like dash, dash, dash for the days we're skipping. Let's see how that looks. This is turning out to be quite boring, I guess. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, actually. I think I'm going to go for a dashed approach. It looks more in line with whatever I have now. So we'll just take this one and maybe even do a dash dash. And then for some of them, maybe the date. And let's do a variant body 2. I think I'm liking this a little bit. Something like this. Something. Oh, you're still with me. Thank you. Yeah, the dashes work a lot better. Yeah. So let's skip with the date for now. And then I'm going to see if I can find some proper dashes and then move them in a little bit. Let's do some missing. Missing. And then we want the same margin here, maybe. Oh, do you see me? Yep, and I think I'm going to take down the margins around the dashes a little bit and find an actual better like long line, an M dash maybe. And I think I'm going to go with that. Thank you, Ali, for sticking with me. That was you never answered me what of the names you use, if it's Mohammed or Ali. Thank you so much for, let's see here, he chimed in, for chiming in, because that helped me now. Dashes work. So hopefully I'm going to get these dashes in place today and then do a production run. I'll run this into production, probably not with the scrolling, or maybe I'm just going to do this for production, even with the scrolling back. And the funny thing now is that you scroll back, you can only scroll so far, but if you choose another date, then obviously you can scroll further back. So I'm just going to start with that, and I'm going to put that into production. And then on Friday next week, we're going to do infinite scroll. Very excited about that. Ali, oh, so Ali works, good. And I think that's all for this stream. I don't know how exciting that's been, but let me recap. We moved from, this is how POW main timeline looks today. And this is where I was at. And what we've done today is that I popped this, which I really like. And then you can't see that here, but we figured out how to, or what to do with the future dates that are missing data or missing predictions. And we're going to go with something along the line of like a dashed approach that I will do on my own, because that's going to be a lot of back and forth and like minuscule detail. And then on Friday next week, I promise we're going to do infinite scroll. And I don't know why, I just have such a huge hang up on that. So if you have any resources and you're watching this in the recording, you know, leave a comment with links to resources. And thank you for sticking with me. Some of you have been here the whole hour. That is very encouraging. And I like this. It's nice to talk through things, for me at least, and I hope it might give you something. And also, I encourage all comments to let me know what I can do better with the setup. If there's anything you feel like you can't see. Oh, I can put myself on like big now. If you feel like the fonts are too small or anything like that, please comment on that. You know, I had this friend who was saying he was sorry he mansplained something to me in a comment, and I have a very high bar for that. I really enjoy getting other people's opinions, and then, you know, I decide if I want to take them or not. So do not be afraid of coming with your opinions or comments for me. That I just appreciate it so much. So that's all for today. We're cutting it off 4 minutes early. I need some food. I'm going to get some more water and coffee. And then hopefully I'm going to get this dashed approach to work by the end of the day. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. And let's end this.